Patty. Okay, this is my first cup of coffee this morning. Oh my goodness, it's 11 o'clock and this is my first cup of coffee. Are aliens coming? Are we fixing to have an alien invasion? Okay, somebody sent me something this morning and I don't have anything up on the computer yet. So you guys, you will have to just kind of work with me here as I try to figure out what it is that I am doing. Have to mute this, I'm sure. Yep, mute. Okay. And all right, so somebody sent me a Mr. What's his name? Dr. Stephen Greer. And I was gonna look him up too. I might as well pull this up. I I keep getting in trouble for some of my friends for not mentioning. Okay, we've got books and a coloring book. Oh wow, can you guys even see that? Coloring book. Star Chronicles was the first book that I published. Good grief. Um, is actually going to be coming up here in a few months. And then of course the volume 1 and volume 2 editions of the full magazine. So this is the 2023, all 4 magazines in one volume. And the 2024 is even thicker. So if you guys want some, sustainable living uh, things to peruse this winter while you're stuck inside, then that's a good idea. I think they are all available for free on Kindle Unlimited. I, I think they are. I know some of them are anyway. Got another book coming up in January 1st. You can pre-order the Kindle right now. I don't know if you can pre-order the paperback yet, but on letter writing, uh, people have kind of lost the knack. And with the price of stamps, I get it. I used to write letters all the time. I used to send out hundreds of holiday cards. It, but it's not cost effective to do that anymore. But in the process of losing that, people have also lost just basic etiquette online whenever you're emailing people and making comments in the comment section and things. And so, anyway, it's again biblically based. Anything that comes from me is going to be pretty much. I can't think of anything that I don't do that I don't. Yeshua is just a part of my life. He has been since I was about 5 or 6 years old, and yeah, it's a relationship that just very close. So anyway, let's see, is that all? Hi, I'm Dawnita from prairiedusttrail.com. And if you have, are learning the ways of the tin hat, I didn't bring mine in here right now, but if you are learning the ways of the tin hat, I have a tin hat tribe that is growing on an uncensored platform of my own, and it's free to join. There is a membership if you would like more perks, but it is free to join. So if you're a tin hat baby that's just realizing that your parents aren't as crazy as you thought they were, or if you're a little older and is realizing that the tin hat fits you even better than you thought it did, then, consider it is ladies only right now. So sorry, guys. I'll see if you would like to talk to the hubby at some point in time. When you get into this thing, and I'll get to the aliens in a minute, but whenever you start getting into the truther movement, it gets lonely really quick. You get isolated. I mean, that started with us when we started homeschooling. It threw us, it started with me probably whenever I gave my heart to the Lord because I was being raised in a New Age family. I was not raised in the church. So loneliness has been something that has just kind of come along. That's why I have such a close relationship with Yeshua but still being able to talk with other like-minded individuals is really nice. And my husband does enjoy visiting. He is extroverted and he does like to talk. So, email me if you would like to visit with him, and I can set you guys up so that you can visit with him. Um, and ladies, you are invited. And we're going to be having our December Q&A where I will invite you onto a call with me and we'll just visit. I want to have you all over for tea or coffee. And that's the best way for me to be able to do it. And we can discuss anything in this group. So it's not on Facebook or the Book of Faces. I love that. It's not there, it's on my own platform. So we don't have to worry. We don't have to worry. And it's no judging zone, So wherever you are in your relationship with the Lord, you are welcome. So now, got all that passed. I don't know how long that took. It doesn't tell me. So I'm gonna, coffee. Yeah. Share. Hopefully this will show the whole thing. Okay. All right. Artisan Bard sent this to me this morning. And she said start it at minute 5. You can kind of see, oh, no, I guess it doesn't. But it started at minute 5, and I went about, I don't know. I went about so far in there of these guys talking. I am familiar with Dr. Stephen Greer. Having been raised in the New Age movement, and UFOs and Bigfoot and stuff like that are a natural occurrence out here. Absolutely natural occurrence out here. At the same time, Oklahoma does have several Air Force bases out here as well. And so, yeah, there's a big kerfuffle going on online. If you have been in the dark, let's see, did I wonder why it did that. I'll stop sharing for a second. My video, I don't know if it's my camera or what, just keeps, it must be my camera because I've been using a different platform for these things. Anyway, if you haven't been hiding under a rock or whatever, the over back northeast, New Jersey and around have been some suburban sized drones, I guess, SUV size UFO type things. And people have been having, I have not joined the conversation. Okay. I have not joined the conversation. And here's why. Okay. And I've posted a little bit about this if you're following me, but here's why I have not joined this conversation and the only reason that I'm kind of joining it now is because it's been brought up to me by a few key people. Shelly from There's No Place Like Home was asking what I thought about it. And we were having a discussion, her and Emmy and Debbie and I were having kind of a little bit of a discussion about it. And Shelly said she was going to do a video on it. So I don't know if she's got that up yet. I haven't checked. And then I've had some other people asking. So the reason I wasn't going to just, if you have a drone, a certain size, bigger than one that you can buy at Radio Shack. We do still shop at Radio Shack. So, bigger than that, whatever you can buy at Walmart, Radio Shack, or wherever you can get these things. If you get one bigger, bigger than that, you have to register it with the FAA. You have to register it. Okay. They have to know who you are, what its specifications are, and what your purpose is for having it. Okay. You have to fill out paperwork. There's red tape. All right. If it gets bigger than, a tire or something, and I'm just kind of blowing here, I can look it up. But if it gets bigger than X amount, you actually have to have a pilot's license to fly it, even if you're on the ground and it's in the sky. Okay. You have to understand how these things work. And then if you're going to be flying it in a certain area, you have to let air traffic control know. Okay. So there is no way, and Oklahoma has several Air Force bases, okay? And there are Air Force bases strategically placed throughout the United States, even though Bill Clinton tried to shut down a whole bunch of them. There still are legitimate and maybe not so legitimate, but we'll get there. Air Force bases all over the United States, all over the world. I think Hunky Hubby was saying that we got them all over the world. We do. We have them all over the world. We know exactly what is in the sky. Yes, there are blips and anomalies. Okay. I'm sure whenever our dragon popped up, that was probably a blip on their radar. I'm sure when Catherine saw the stock tank up in the sky when the trucker was stopped watching the stock tank that was flying in the sky, I'm sure it was a blip or an anomaly that showed up on their radar. How much of that they pay attention to and how on earth they can tell the difference between those and the wind towers at this point, I'm really not sure. I know that's caused some havoc on radar system situations. But they know, okay, they see the stuff, they have a general idea. These people who do this, that are trained to do this, the air traffic control, whether it's military or civilian, they have a general idea of what it is and what's going on. And I mean, at this point now, hubby's got flight radar on his phone. I've got two different ones on my phone. I don't pay a whole lot of attention to him. He watches those. And he can see the ones that are registered on there and then the ones that weren't. Now, the China balloon, spy balloon situation that was a while back that was over Montana and whatnot. Um, Here comes grandbaby. Uh, they absolutely they knew what that was. There wasn't any way that China had something over the top of us that they didn't know what it was. And a cowboy saw it before air traffic control saw it. There's no way, okay? And then you've got the Hanky Heavy has said that since that happened, there's a lot more of the weather balloons and stuff are listed on flight radar than there were before. Okay. A lot more. So, they realize that they need it, that people are starting to pay attention. People are starting to look up instead of just looking at their devices, and people are starting to pay attention, and they need to have a story for these things. Okay. Now, what's going on back east, northeast? I have no doubt there's a purpose for it. Absolutely no doubt that there's a purpose for it. Uh, yeah, she's here. No doubt that there's a purpose for that. Everybody's gonna get noisy, and the volume in my house is gonna go up a notch because she's very rambunctious. Okay. Their holiday gift for her this year is to redo her bedroom. And so she's coming over here for the day so that they can princess up her bedroom for her. So I'm excited to see what it's going to look like, but she's going to be making some noise. I was hoping to get this done before she showed up, but that's okay. You guys can handle it, right? You can handle it. If you can't handle it, then just please move on. Don't tell me in the comments that you can't handle it. Okay. It's all right. So anyway, there is no way that they have something that big over such a populated area that they don't know what it is and who's doing it. Okay? There's no way. Period. End of story. The and the dumb act that, and I don't know what else to call it, that the officials are giving, and I have no doubt that there's some officials that don't know what's going on. Okay. Here's a thing that I will. Hello, Dot. Bring me my phone, Dot. Can you find me my cell phone? Yeah. She's gonna get it here. Ah, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I screenshotted the conversation earlier, and I've been busy, guys. So there's been things going on. Part of that is here in Oklahoma and in several other states, we're fighting an eminent domain issue with transmission corridors. Okay, and there's a land grab fight going on right now, and I'm involved as much as I can be. So anyway, there was this post about one of the companies that is trying to do this, a private company that is trying to do this. And one of the commenters says, and this is a commenter, so disclaimers and disclosures, YouTube, this is not necessarily just my stuff. So let me see if I can find my disclaimers and disclosures so I can pop that up on the screen real quick while I read this, so that, because we do know that YouTube has issues with this. Okay, disclaimers and disclosures, and you can read that as you want to. But one of these comments is Invenergy, which they spelled it wrong, but that's okay, is owned by a Canadian front company named Blackstone. Blackstone is owned by two major shareholders. Yep, you guessed it, BlackRock and Vanguard. They need to be stopped ASAP. Okay. And if you know anything about these corporate, these whatever they are companies, they've got a piece of every pie, pretty much. If it's big, they're in it. Okay. Another one said, we need to stop taxpayer funding of private companies. That would stop them in their tracks. On this one, I disagree. No, it won't, because it's more, first of all, you don't understand how the tax money works, because the Internal Revenue Service and the Federal Reserve aren't even American. So if you think that our tax dollars are staying in the United States at all, and that we have any control over those, yeah. The politicians will give you a lot of rhetoric about how they're using tax dollars and how they're trying to save tax dollars, and they're, but whenever it comes down to it, that right there doesn't even belong to us at all. Okay. So, and there's a whole thing there, but these companies, and another one, I'll read this one because this is a good one. We need to continue to fight. The best way to beat this is to educate people about the harmful effects of these, as well as the severity of the leases that most don't understand. Talk to your neighbors, educate them, and make sure they talk to everyone they know. Knowledge is power. That is absolutely true. So we've got these big companies, and the members of these big companies, the CEOs, the shareholders, they all own each other. Okay. They're all shareholders, and you know, they've all got their fingers back and forth in different things. It's a web of things. I have been tempted behind me to put one of those conspiracy boards with the yarn going back and forth across things, because I think that'd be so much fun. It would totally fit what we're doing, right? But these people, they're into everything. And what you need to understand is our elected officials are shareholders in most of it too. Okay. Most of your elected officials have shares in all of this stuff. Okay. Johnson and Johnson, um, Procter and Gamble, you name it. A majority of the elected officials have shares in this stuff. And what we have, this is totally how I see it. Okay, a personal opinion here. What we have is we have been in for quite a while a civil war. We've been in one. Okay. But the regular people have no say, nothing in this. We're not a part of this. We're not a part of this. Um, there's the schmishmissions, if you know, you know, uh, and the different sectors and different groups of them are fighting against each other. And this is a worldwide thing. It has to do with transhumanism. It has to do with, you know, everything, that all these little rabbit holes that you have found yourself peeking into lately over the last several years, all of those little rabbit holes are connected. They're all connected. So it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So like I said, this video that was sent to me, and Dr. Stephen Greer, and he's been talking about aliens forever. Okay. And he went back to 1993. But I'm pretty sure he has a book that's older than that. I don't remember. I was gonna try to look it up. I was gonna see when was his first book published. I don't know if Wikipedia would tell me that. So he got a medical license in 1989. Let's see. He founded the Center of Study for Extraterrestrial Intelligence in 1990. I am pretty sure that maybe not. It might be somebody else that I'm thinking of. But I grew up with this stuff. Okay. So it's just one of these. He's trying to say in this video, and I can link the video for you guys in the description so that you can go watch it if you want to. He's saying that most of what we're seeing right now is dark ops military stuff that is not connected to the government properly. Okay. And that there's a lot of noise going on here. I hope you guys can't hear all of it. Yeah. But that but this is a prelude trying to get people ready. He thinks there's actually going to be an alien invasion coming soon. He actually thinks that is going to happen. But a majority of what is happening right now is the dark ops military. Now I didn't watch the whole video, so I don't know if he believes that they're like maneuvering to get ready for the alien invasion or whatever he thinks there. If you've been here for very long, you know that aliens are not from outer space. I do not believe the aliens are from outer space. They are interdimensional beings, extra dimensional beings. They're not, and they come from Genesis 6. Okay, so go back to the Bible, go back to Genesis 6, what was happening, go back to the book of Enoch and see what happened to the spirits of the Nephilim. They turned into the demons, the evil spirits that we have today, the demons that we have today. Those are the spirits of the Nephilim and that were drowned in the flood. Okay, and they are looking for any way that they possibly can to live. All right, be that through AI. And hey, guys, I use AI. All right, I do use AI. It's a great search engine tool. So, and that's all it comes from, is from search engine. If you are trying to talk to something other than a computer program, because there's no such thing as AI, artificial intelligence is not a thing. Okay, so it is a program, and it is program, and it's a self-programming program. So as I get in there and I'm using like ChatGPT, I have taught it to call me Princess Dawnita, and I have taught it the things that I am looking for and the worldview that I'm looking at. Okay, so it pulls information from Google, basically, of the information that I'm looking for. So if I ask, okay, for some information, it gives me this information. I say, okay, give me a PDF reference for this. Then it will give me a link for an actual like scientific study or whatever it is that I'm looking for. Okay. And that is programming. That is where you can type in something and it programs. It programs it. It's kind of like Short Circuit, the movie Short Circuit. If you guys haven't watched that for a while, go watch it again. Computers and robots and stuff do not program themselves. They take the programming, right? The only time they are going to become anything else, and it's not artificial, is if a demon inhabits it. Okay. And if a demon inhabits it, which demons can inhabit animals, like Yeshua throwing legion into the swine. Okay. They can inhabit animals. They can inhabit inanimate objects. They could definitely inhabit a computer program or something if they wanted to, but you have to invite it for it to have contact with you. Okay. There has to be some kind of an invitation for that to happen. And sometimes we invite things unintentionally. Okay. It happens pretty easy to, accidentally invite something unintentionally. But generally speaking, if you are aware of that and you're using this tool and you are not making an invitation for anything else to inhabit it, you're just going to use the program. Period. End of story. That's why computers are the whole kit and caboodle. Okay, that's the way it works. So when we're using, when we're talking about like alien invasion and stuff like that, and another point that Paul made is they are the black ops, or whatever, are using alien tech. It's not alien tech. It's pre-flood technology, or ancient tech. It's antiquitech that they're learning how to use. And he made the point that, all of the airplanes in the sky and stuff, if you watch, and I mean, even in 2020, when everything was shut down, there were airplanes all over the place. Okay. We've got all these airplanes and stuff, and they say that they carry so much fuel and it's so expensive and all of this kind of stuff. If they were, it would be cost prohibitive. I mean, it's crazy. So if you want to know where these black ops units are getting their money, start looking for holes in where money is supposed to be going, like fuel for aeronautics. things like that. I'm not saying that they're not using some fuel, but they're not using the amount of fuel that they say they are. Okay. They just can't. We have an airplane that goes over us constantly from Dallas to Dubai. Put that on your float. From Dallas to Dubai and back and forth all the time. And for them to do that and how much fuel it would supposedly cost if they were carrying the fuel that they say they are. And where is it compared to everything else on the plane, right? Anyway, so they have been reverse engineering Antiquitech for a long time. Okay, that's what the original Tesla was doing, not Tesla, the company, Tesla himself. That's what they were doing. They were reverse engineering Antiquitech, right? Thank you, Martin Liedtke, for the word Antiquitech. I think it came from him, right? He likes to have people, you know, giving him a shout out for using his words and his stuff. So I want to definitely, anyway, some little boys never grow up. I'll just say that some little boys never grow up. Anyway, so that's what I think. I hope that I'm not all the way through this first cup of coffee this morning and it's almost noon. So if I sound rambly, I am, period, end of story, plus the extra activity that's going on in the house. I didn't get in here quick enough to get this started. I will put the link to this interview with Dr. Stephen Greer so you can see where he's coming from and what his worldview is. His worldview is that there is, alien life and that our government has been studying it since the 1950s, which is kind of interesting because you had the WWII in there not long before that. Look at how many, and then of course, if you're talking about the Antarctic, trips and things like that in that time period too. We know, okay? And TikTok's been really making fun of this because, oh, aliens, and people on TikTok, especially Gen X, is like, so what? We don't care. We're all just going to go to work and do our thing and whatever, because, we've known for so long that whatever you guys are talking about in Congress, you're behind and whatever. And I don't think they necessarily are. Some of them probably are. I don't know how many of them are. It depends on which faction of the group they're in, and where exactly is the war. I don't think Congress is where the war is. It's not Democrats against Republicans. It's not Americans against China or Russia. It's not any of that. It's fallen ones and the Raphaim trying to get ready for the last battle or something, okay? And wherever we are in the book of Revelation, I feel like they know that their time is short. And maybe not, maybe we're just fixing to have another reset. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I touching on it here. If you have more questions, let me know. I want to wrap this up because, there's activities and stuff going on. And we'll be starting our Hanukkah candles this evening. I need to dig them out, actually. And so, have a nice week and let me know if you have any questions and I might, do a follow-up if you guys want me to. So anyway, thank y'all. And remember, you can make it through the dust storms of life with God's divine help.